There comes a point where your body stops negotiating with you. It doesn't hint, it doesn't nudge, it doesn't tap you politely on the shoulder. It just slams on the brakes and leaves you standing there like, all right, I guess we're doing this the hard way. And the wild part is, you don't see it coming. You spend years convincing yourself you've got time. Unlimited Mondays, unlimited I'll start laters, unlimited fresh starts waiting for when life calms down, which it never does. And then one day you blink. Not literally, but that's what it feels like. And a decade is gone. 10 years of tiny decisions, ignored signals, quiet warnings. 10 years of convincing yourself that you're fine when you absolutely are not. Is one of the most humbling things you can experience. Realizing that time didn't sprint past you, you just weren't paying attention. It never happens dramatically. You don't wake up one morning and think, wow, I aged 20 years overnight. It's subtle and quiet. One skip walk becomes 2, then 3, then a pattern you pretend isn't a pattern. Life becomes a slow drift, and you don't notice the drift until you're miles away from where you're meant to be. You tell yourself you're just tired, just stressed, just busy, and for a while, your body lets you get away with that lie because everyone else around you is saying the same thing. Feeling worn out becomes normal. Ignoring yourself becomes normal, and your body keeps absorbing the damage and patching things up overnight until it doesn't anymore. Eventually the tiredness doesn't lift, the heaviness doesn't disappear, and the motivation feels like somebody unplugged the power cable to your brain. Adults minimize their own decline. We pretend we're fine until the pretending stops working. And that's when the health wake-up call hits. It isn't gentle, it's your body saying, enough. I kept a shirt from over 20 years ago. Perfect fit, perfect memory. The kind of shirt you don't think about when you're healthy because it just exists in your life. It sat across my shoulders like it was tailored for me. And back then I didn't appreciate it or see it as the last time I felt strong. It was just a shirt, just a casual, normal, everyday shirt. And then life happened, stress happened, habits shifted, food changed, sleep fell apart, movement disappeared, and the shirt became a relic, a quiet reminder of how easily midlife health can slip when you're not paying attention. When I look at it now, it almost feels like it belongs to another person entirely, and the painful part is that it does. That version of me didn't disappear overnight. I lost him slowly, carelessly over the years I never noticed slipping away. Math doesn't care about your excuses and your past doesn't negotiate with your present. That shirt is the closest thing I have to a time machine, a reminder of what ignoring your health really costs. My wake-up call wasn't dramatic. There was no ambulance, no hospital, no life flashing before my eyes. It was smaller and honestly scarier, noticing how long I'd been operating at half capacity and calling it normal. I realised how many days I spent convincing myself things weren't that bad when what I really needed was a lifestyle reset. You eat garbage and you're fine until your body quietly stops being fine. You skip sleep and bounce back until one day you don't. You put off the walk, the stretch, the water, the routine, until the cost finally shows up. And when it does, you feel it everywhere, not just in your joints or your energy, but in your confidence, your patience, and your ability to function without effort. Your body goes from being a loyal partner keeping you alive behind the scenes to being a landlord collecting rent you've been avoiding paying. The contract ends and you feel the compensation in every small part of your life that used to be effortless. Time doesn't steal a decade in a dramatic moment. It erodes quietly while you're busy telling yourself everything's fine. The worst part is how normal it all feels while it's happening. You're not making catastrophic mistakes, you're just drifting through days without noticing how they all stack up. You get caught putting out fires, handling responsibilities, reacting to life instead of participating in it, and your health slides into the background. Not out of laziness, but out of routine neglect disguised as normal life. And then one day you catch a glimpse of yourself, not the quick, rushed mirror glance, but a real look, and something inside you stutters. That person staring back doesn't match the version you still hold in your mind. Not physically, not emotionally, not in energy. It's the quiet realization that you've been fading without even noticing. And it's not the weight or the wrinkles that hit hardest. It's the distance between who you remember being and who you've become. That distance is the decade you've lost. You know, people love saying it's never too late, but that's only half true. It's not never too late, it's not too late yet. And that word yet carries everything, because if you keep drifting, your body eventually stops giving you choices. It closes doors, mobility, energy, strength, doors you assume that would always be open. And once they shut, there's no negotiating them back. That's when later stops being a plan and becomes a reminder of how long you've been postponing yourself. We convince ourselves that waiting is productive, that waiting is planning, that waiting is preparing, but waiting is just avoidance dressed up as strategy. It feels responsible, like you're being smart, when in reality it's fear doing the talking. Fear of failing, fear of not seeing results fast enough, fear of looking stupid, fear of being a beginner at an age where you thought you'd already have your life figured out. But the truth is simple. Waiting doesn't protect you. It just postpones your progress while your problems keep growing. You know, I wasted years on the idea of the right time. There isn't one. There's only now, and whatever consequences now creates later. When I finally stripped everything back, all the diets, the theories, the hacks, the plans, I realised something almost stupidly obvious. My body wasn't asking for perfection. It wasn't asking for extremes. It wasn't asking for a new ideology or some optimal protocol. It just wanted the basics. Real food, some fresh air, some movement, actual rest. The simplest things, the ones you forgot you needed. Health isn't complicated. We procrastinate the simple things because they feel too boring to take seriously. They don't feel epic or heroic, but they're the only things that actually work. You know, the first day I ate properly, slept properly, walked properly, I realised how starved I was for the basics. Not a high-performance lifestyle, just being a functional human being again. You know, the truth is, there wasn't some movie scene transformation moment, no sunrise epiphany or dramatic turning point. Just a quiet, brutally honest moment where I thought, I can't keep living like this. Not in desperation, but in realism. Because once your body starts sending warning signs, they don't go away. They get louder and louder, and one day they become permanent. I realise health isn't optional because your future depends on the choices you make now, not the ones you hoped you'd make or ones that you plan to make someday. I didn't want perfection, I just wanted my life back. If I could sit down with myself 10 years ago, I wouldn't show up with motivation, discipline, or some change your life speech. I'd say something much simpler. Pay attention, don't drift, don't disappear from your own life. Ignoring your body doesn't feel dramatic while it's happening. It feels normal, convenient, like something you'll fix once life calms down. But life never calms down on its own. This isn't about becoming the perfect version of yourself. is about getting back in shape mentally and physically before another decade disappears. There's no perfect time coming, no magical Monday, no future version of you who suddenly wakes up ready and motivated. There's just this moment where you can finally stop pretending that you have unlimited time. You know, I'm done treating burnout like a personality trait. I'm done letting exhaustion become my default, and I'm done handing away years that I barely experienced. I want to feel awake in my own life again. I want a body that helps me live, not one that I have to fight. I want years that feel lived, not endured. And if rebuilding that means starting from scratch, then good. If it means feeling like a beginner, good. If it means taking a slow path instead of the dramatic one, even better. Slow still moves forward. Health isn't optional. Not if I want the future that I keep imagining. And this time, I'm not disappearing again. I'm starting where I am, with what I've got. And it's enough.